for now, we're gonna go ahead and kick this off with my man Joe Brown. Joe, what's going on? How you feeling, Joseph?
Hey, I'm feeling good. How are you?
Chilling, chilling. Listen, I appreciate you joining us. Obviously, I've interviewed you before, Joe, so we've done this in person one time. But thank you
Yeah,
for rocking with us. This is a new segment. It's called No Holds Bar, and just letting everybody in the chat know, if they have any questions or they want to ask anything, feel free. But we'll go ahead and kick this off, Joe. So, let me give you a proper introduction for those of y'all that don't know Joseph Brown. 11-time state champ, 6-time national champ. And we know what's crazy. I was on IG today and I was doing my work and I'm like, man, they put that all in a nice little graphic for you today.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was
I think they put everything there.
yeah, it was dope. It was dope. But we'll go ahead and read it off. 6-time national champ, Muay Thai champ, excuse me. He's got the second fastest KO in amateur history. That's second only to Mike Tyson. 70 and 0 across all combat sports. 3 and 0, 3 KOs. So far as a boxing professional, he's born in Florida, raised in Toronto, Canada. Does work in Philadelphia. This is going to be his third fight this year. He's working with Danny Swift Garcia, who you see with us now. Thank you for joining, Danny. And yeah, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. So, I mean, Joe and Danny, I appreciate you rocking with us.
For
Thank you
sure.
for joining. If you can, Danny, I mean, if it's not too much, as if you turn it to the side, just gives you that better aim. Yeah, thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Right there or the other way?
Yeah, you good. You perfect. You perfect. So, Joseph, let's just start with you, man. Look, this is your third fight this year. When I saw you in Vegas, I think it was September, early September, I had asked you about pace, and you said you were definitely looking to get into the ring again.
Yep.
So, what do you think about this third fight this year? And is this the kind of pace you're looking to continue next year? Are we doing, 3, 4 fights? What's your angle?
Yeah, for sure. Next year I'm gonna be super active. I like to get, five to six next year for sure. I love being active. I hate like inactivity, just sitting around and like not doing nothing, especially because I'm one of those types of fighters where I'm just like I'm always in the gym. Like I never take no time off and do nothing or really like slack off like out of camp. I always train like I'm in training camp. So I love the activity and I'm young and usually when I go in I get my fights done quick and come out with no injuries. So it's only right to, just stay active.
Yeah, for sure. And we definitely looking forward to seeing this fight. Is Taylor Garcia number 4. It's the pride of the money team. So obviously I know the fans are interested. I'm interested. How did this come to be? I know Danny just had Curmel, but can you talk a little bit about what's it like or how working with DSG and Swift Promotions came to be and just what your relationship with Danny is like and just going forward?
Well, I've never actually talked to Danny. So what's up, Danny?
Woo!
What's up,
And
bro?
this
Nice to meet you.
introduction?
Yeah, yeah. First time
Oh,
meeting him.
dope, dope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super dope. Danny, I just want to, thank you for the opportunity, have me on your card. I've been watching you since I'm a little kid. So it's gonna be cool, fight on your cards, meet you in person, it's gonna be dope. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. We've got not only yourself, we've got Curmel Moton returning on this card, and then we also have Jursly Vargas. So just that whole dynamic, 3 young guys, all with Mayweather Promotions, and now fighting on the Danny Garcia card. How do you deal with what I'm sure are really lofty expectations really early on in your career?
You said, how do I deal with the?
Big expectations,
Oh,
so you with Mayweather Promotions, you have a great amateur record. You're professional now, but you're just 18 years old. How do you deal with all that pressure and those high expectations that are, for certain going to be put on you?
I train my hardest and I do my thing. I put my faith in God that as long as I train it like I'm supposed to, and work my hardest, that once I get into the ring, I'll come out victorious. I feel like I've always had pressure on me since I was a little kid because I've always been just a little bit different and special from the rest of everybody. So I've always had that pressure to always try and be the best and live up to what my name is starting to become to be. So now it's not even like, to be honest, it's not even as much pressure anymore. It's more just motivation to just be better and be great.
No doubt, no doubt. And look, like I just said, you're with Mayweather Promotion. So, I mean, just walk us through that. What's the first time that you even remember like Floyd Mayweather? When can you think back and say that's when he came to my head? Was it this fight or this moment?
Yeah, I remember like watching Floyd like as a little kid, like before I mean, my dad's been teaching me how to fight since I was born and stuff, but before I even actually started in the gym and stuff, I remember watching Floyd Mayweather fights and stuff like that. And then just to, I think my first time actually meeting him when I was 16. I met him in his gym, and we like struck up a combo and stuff like that. And after a while, he kept popping in the gym, watching me train. I think he cornered me while I was sparring once, and that's really how we like built our relationship with each other. And I'm super grateful for it because, like I said, he's been one of my favorite fighters since I started boxing. Before I started boxing, so now to not just know him, but be signed to him, and he, blessed me the opportunity to, fight on his undercard. It's surreal. Dream come true.
Yeah, yeah. For the average person like myself, I can't even imagine what that would be like. But for you, what's it like the first time you meet him? Are you like awestruck, like, oh my God, this is Floyd Mayweather? Or are you like, yo, I'm Joseph Brown, I'm a fighter too. Like, what is it like for you that first time you see Floyd Mayweather?
No, first time I was starstruck for sure because I was in the gym. I think I might talking to Carmel about something, and then he came up and just like dapped all of us up, and I'm like took me a minute to process that I was Floyd. I'm like, wait, like that really just happened? So yeah, I mean, even now, I mean, I even though that I know him personally and like we're cool, like I still a little starstruck every time I get around him.
Yeah, no, I think most people would be. So, it's all fair. But for you, I'm sure it's a lot different because you work with him on a different angle. You're a boxer. He's obviously a GOAT, the GOAT in some people's
Yeah.
opinions, right? Arguably. So, what kind of advice can you share with us that you get from Floyd, maybe a fight-in or just the business of just anything? Like, what kind of gems has he given you?
Can't give away all the secrets, but he gives a lot of advice. Good advice inside of the ring. Well, not only like inside the ring, but also outside of the ring too. It's just overall just a great mentor. Super blessed to have him in my life now.
For sure, for sure. And I definitely have more questions for you, Joe. So I appreciate you just rocking with us and hanging tight. I'm sure the fans have questions in the chat. But Danny, I want to come over to you really quick. So this is your fourth card, in a year, but actually in less than 6 months, because your first card was in June. So I mean, what does that feel like to already be this far along in, a short run in as a promoter?
No, it feels great. For me, it's a new chapter in my life, being a boxing promoter. And my main focus was basically I want the best young fighters on my cards. And that's why when I reached out to Carmel and then Richard Schaefer made it happen. Floyd said, yeah. And then he said, hey, we got some more guys. We got Joseph Brown, we got Jursly Vargas. And I said, show me them young talent, great talent, and that's the type of fights I want to put on for the young guys for the future of boxing. And for me, it's great because I already know next year we're gonna do 4 or 5 more shows. So this is just not a one-time thing. We're gonna be around for a long time, and put on the best fights for the young fighters and build these champions. And these are the next stars of boxing. This is the future of boxing. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I was at the last card at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, and I could tell everybody in the chat and definitely anybody who just missed it. Look, it was dope. The atmosphere was definitely there. Everybody, showed out. You had great fights on that card. I was a little bit mad at my man that won the card because I was like, bro, I've been doing a backflip. He was mad cool about it.
Yeah,
Like,
it was crazy. So we're actually giving out more cars. I don't want to say how many, but this next show, I don't want to confirm it yet, but we're giving out some cars again. So every fight we're gonna do something different. The last fight we gave out to breast cancer. We gave a portion of the proceeds to breast cancer. We gave out the brand new Kia. This time we're actually going to give out more cars than we did last time. So I'll be announcing that soon. But it's everything we do is just gonna be different, next level stuff, and that's what's gonna separate me from all the other promoters. I'm gonna have the best young fighters. You might win a college tuition, you might get a car. You never know what you're gonna get when you come to a Swift Promotions event.
Yeah, it was dope. It was definitely dope, and I'm looking forward to this fight on November 30th. Danny, really quick, just clarify for me the venue because I'm off on the venue. So I know it's November 30th in
Yeah,
Atlantic City.
so November 30th is the ACX1 Stadium. It's basically it's a new venue. It's the first time it's gonna be boxing in there. It's dope. It's like cathedral ceilings. It fits about 1,500 to 2,000 people. It's definitely a dope spot. So that's the first time it's ever gonna be a boxing event there. It will be streamed on dmdb.com again, just like the last event. And for the people who really don't know what dmdb.com is, it's basically, it's a website that gives back 80% of the revenue to the users. It's ran by Mark Cuban, Phyllis Yeager, and Barry. So is definitely a great. So instead of running your videos on YouTube and you getting a small portion of it, this is 80% of all ad revenue. This is for the people, and that's what dmdb.com is for a lot of people. Because a lot of people ask me, "What is it? What is it?" You know, it's just like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can just upload all your content on there, and the more traffic that you run to this site, the more revenue you get to keep for yourself. So this is definitely for the people.
That's very interesting. Danny, tell me this, it obviously legendary career as a boxer, but now you're a promoter. What are the pros and cons of being a promoter? What do you like? And what's like I gotta do this now.
No, I mean, what I love about it is that, I get to work with young guys who looked up to me because I used to be that guy. My second fight was on Floyd Mayweather's undercard when he fought Ricky Hatton. So I was always excited, I always wanted to get back to the young guys, especially in Philadelphia, because I felt like nobody ever really did that for me. I kind of had it the hard way. I had to earn my stripes and earn my fame on my own. So that's kind of like the pros. I would say the cons is just trying to sign fighters. That's pretty much it because it's hard. A lot of fighters have managers and trainers, and they're just picky. We just want to sign you, move you, get you these fight dates, and make you a superstar. And sometimes just dealing with the fighters and the contracts, it kind of makes it more difficult.
No doubt, no doubt. Let me ask you this. Obviously the last card had Curmel Moton, like you spoke about. Richard Schaefer, Floyd Mayweather, Mayweather Promotions. They obviously worked with you to make sure that you got other fighters, and you didn't just get other fighters. You got the three of the youngest fighters at Mayweather Promotions.
For
So
sure.
there's a relationship there. Talk to us about that. What was it like when you first met Floyd?
When I first met Floyd, man, I think that was, like I said before, I fought on Ricky Hatton on the card. I think that was 2008 or 7. I'm not too sure. But I met Floyd a long time ago. And, Floyd always showed me love. And Richard, I was signed to Golden Boy. So Richard basically ran Golden Boy in the beginning. And that's how Richard knows me. So, these are people I've known in the boxing world for a long time. I never really had a relationship with them, outside of boxing, but we familiar with each other. Floyd always showed me love. Richard always showed me love. Golden Boy did a great job with me. And it was just one phone call, and that was it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's interesting that you say that because Oscar's been in the news recently talking about this fight and his opinion on it, but he gets a lot of flack, right? Some fighters say, "Hey, it didn't work out there. That's why I went this other route." But you think your time with Oscar and Richard Schaefer when you were at Golden Boy went well?
Yeah, definitely. Eric Gomez was the one who signed me in the Olympic trials. So he was the one who recognized me. And then at that time I was signed with Shelly Finkel. And then Shelly got me to like 20-0. And then I signed with Al Heyman. I was still with Golden Boy. But it wasn't until I met Al Heyman or signed with Al Heyman that I started to get the big fights. But other than that, Golden Boy, I can't say nothing bad about them. They did a great job with me. They believed in me from the beginning, and it was great for me. I can't say nothing bad about them.
No, thank you for that insight for sure. And that's interesting, because sometimes people have different experiences. So I'm sure people are always interested to hear the other side too. I just want to go back to Joseph really quick. So Joseph, look, you fight at 154 pounds, right? And
Yep.
overnight that division went from, it was picking the pace to like really being a hot division. It feels like, you're looking at that over the last 2 weeks and it's gotten crazy, right? With the potential matchups and this and that. But just to kind of run through some of those fighters and then get your thoughts on them. You got the champs, right? So you got Fondora, you got Bakram, you got Bud, you got interim champs, Bud again, you got Virgil, you got Jermel, he's holding two belts as the champion in recess. You got Boychuk, you got Lubin, you got Madrimov. So here's my question. In your opinion, who do you think is the best 154 pounder today, not named Joseph Brown?
um, it's really hard to say. There's, like you said, there is a lot of good ones. I think Crawford being there now is pretty big. I say probably my favorite fighter in the division right now would be Sebastian Fondora, in my opinion.
Okay, no respect. Who do you think gives him the toughest fight then at 154? Sebastian Fondora.
I think probably Crawford. I think Crawford would be be a tough match because Crawford just all that experience he has, it'd be like he would be the person to be able to like outthink him and get past the long arms and all that. So I think that'll probably be his toughest match.
All right, and then just my last question for you around the 154-pound division. If you were, let's play fantasy here, matchmaker, what fight would you like to see happen at 154?
Honestly, that one, Crawford and Fondora. I think Fondora has 2 belts still. So or yeah, I think he does. So
yeah, he does. He has 2 belts.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Crawford has the WBA one right now too, right? So that would be another like big unification match. So I think that one's pretty big.
So, and just a question, because obviously you said Fondora is the guy you like most right now, 154. He has a fight coming up with Spence. At least that's what's been reported. How do you think that fight goes? And if you're breaking it down, who do you favor how?
It's hard to say. Me personally, I would go with like a prime Spence, but it's just hard to say how what type of arrow Spence is gonna show up that night. I don't even want to judge based off like what happened with Crawford, because I feel like I could give him the benefit of the doubt and say everyone has a bad night sometimes, but I think that one did kind of show a lot, and then he's gonna jump back into this one, and this is gonna be like a 1.5 year layoff or something like that. So that's a long time to lay off after coming off a really bad loss. So it's really hard to say. Fondora is like, he's a tall dude, but he also likes to fight on the inside. And Spence is a pressure fighter. That's get in your face. So it's really hard. It's kind of hard to say who got that. I kind of have it like 50-50.
Got you. So we talked about something earlier, just switching gears really quick. That you didn't just fight, or you don't just fight in boxing. You fought Muay Thai. So I just wanted to ask you, what made you leave Muay Thai, get into boxing, or are you still gonna do Muay Thai?
I mean, as far as like my MMA, like I still practice it till this day. Of course, when I have like boxing coming up, I'll focus more on my boxing to make sure I perform well in that. But I still train in everything because my ultimate goal is to be the first male to go from being like a multiple division boxing world champion to cross over to the UFC and win a title there. So like till this day, like I still practice it. Yeah.
If you can accomplish that, you'll probably be one of the best fighters of all time. Exactly. I'm not even talking about boxing.
Yeah, just a period.
Yeah, like we're talking about fighters.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, not like there's a lot of people that like try to cross over.
Has anybody ever done it?
I think
the champion in both.
The girl, Holly Holm, but no man has done it. Not a guy.
Okay. Yeah, that would be crazy.
Amanda Serrano's fought both. Clarissa Shields fought both, but champion, like world champion at the highest level in MMA, I can't think of any.
The thing is, like,
if somebody knows in the chat, because the chat knows everything. If somebody knows in the chat, y'all tell us. My bad, Joe. Go ahead.
No. I said like people, they try and cross over, but they try and do that at the end with like no experience. Like they just go in with good hands and just hope that's gonna work for them. But I've been like constantly doing everything like since I started. Like when I started boxing, I started everything else at the same time. And like, I won world championships in Muay Thai. I've been doing jiu-jitsu like for the longest. And I spar with and hold my own with like world-class kickboxers and MMA fighters. Like right now, even after taking time off, I still go in there and like hold my own. So it's like, I'm not going to be one of those people that cross over and no experience and doesn't know what they're doing.
Now listen, that would be dope. Just like Danny said, you could go down as the greatest like ever of all combat sports if you were to pull that off, and I'm rooting for you on that. Let me ask you a question, though. You said you've worked with world-class MMA fighters. Anybody that you could tell us that you've just done work with that we would know?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the people on the UFC roster, I'm stuck with their names and stuff like that, but definitely a lot of people on that roster, like as far as like kickboxers and stuff, Joe Valtellini is like my good friend. He helped me a lot. Simon Marcus, he's an 8-time world champion. Yeah, work with a lot of them.
No doubt.